What if I told you your prospects can be legally triggered into paying you in full before the sales call even starts? And it's not called hypnosis, it's called conditioning. And here's what happens when you actually do it. Alex closed multiple 10K PIFs. Romeo closed a 4.6K PIF literally the next day after implementing the same conditioning process I'll be going over today. And Abby is closing 3.5K PIFs like they're nothing. And in today's video, I'll be going over the 3 psychological triggers that make people want to pay you in full without you pressuring them, giving them discounts, or even following up. Now, here's what's wild. Everyone that I just mentioned, none of them changed their offer or even their price. The only thing they changed was how they condition their prospects before the call. So the first of the 3 triggers that I'll be going over is what I call pre-sale conditioning. So, have you ever gotten one of these objections from a prospect? I need to think about it. I don't have the money. I need to talk to my wife. Now is not a good time to start, or I'll get back to you in a month. Obviously, these are smoke screens, but you and I both know that. The real question is, why are people giving you these objections? Because they're probably saying things like, this is exactly what I need, or I'm willing to do anything to get out of my current situation. This leads you to believe that they are going to buy from you. But there's an underlying point that your prospects are not telling you. They don't truly believe in you or your system yet. The sales call isn't where the selling happens, even though everyone believes it is. The truth is, the call just confirms a decision the prospect already made. The real sale happens days before their call through your content, your stories, and your proof. And once you realize that, everything about how you sell changes because you're not trying to close people, you're trying to condition them. See, before someone ever books in a call with you, they're already building a mental checklist in their head. Do I trust this person? Do I believe their system will actually work for me? And do they understand my exact problem? If your content does not answer those questions before the call, this is why you're getting those objections. Pre-sale conditioning is about making sure your prospects already believe in 3 things. 1, you understand their pain better than they do. 2, you've helped people just like them before. And 3, the way you solve it feels simple and inevitable. So by the time they hit book a call, they're not looking for reasons not to buy and to hesitate. They're looking for confirmation that you're the right person to get them to their goals. And that's what turns calls from convincing sessions or education calls into straight PIFs and order forms. Because once a prospect believes in you, the next step is to make sure that belief sticks. And that's where trigger number 2, the belief loop, comes in. And here's what it means. Belief isn't built once. It's reinforced over and over until it becomes automatic. Most of you make this mistake. You think that if you explain your offer clearly one time, prospects will just be like, oh, I get it, I want a PIF. No, that's not how the human brain works. People don't buy the first time they hear something. People buy the first time it feels familiar. Every piece of content you post, every story, testimonial, headline should be reinforcing the same idea from a slightly different angle. Think of it like this. Your content isn't there to entertain people. It's there to install beliefs one piece at a time. And when those beliefs repeat enough, they loop. So the goal is to create a loop around 3 core ideas. 1, your process works. Obviously, you show consistent proof and simple explanations. 2, it'll work for them. Share stories of people who look and sound like your target audience. And 3, it's working right now. Everyone hates the gurus that, paint results from 5 years ago, post recent wins, screenshots, and short clips of active results. So it's believable and obviously true. Once those 3 beliefs are looping, your audience stops questioning if it'll work, and they start to wonder, how soon can I pay? And the best part, the belief loop makes selling feel effortless because by the time someone books a call, they've already sold themselves, which if you know anything about sales, your goal is to make the prospect sell themselves. They've seen your process 5 times in 5 different ways. They've heard the same language, the same proof, the same story arcs until it feels like they already know you. That's why my clients close at a 40 to 70% closing rate after implementing this. Not because their offer changed, but because their prospects' beliefs did. See, belief is like momentum. You don't build it at one post. You build it by stacking repetition. The more your message repeats, the more your prospect's brain starts to associate you with the solution. So instead of chasing leads, your audience begins chasing certainty. And when you control certainty, you control the close. That's the power of the belief loop. It's not about saying something new every time. It's about saying the right thing so many times that it becomes impossible to ignore. And once that belief is locked in, the next step is to make paying in full feel like the safest and most logical choice. That's where trigger number 3 comes in, and it's the one that flips hesitation into instant commitment. The third trigger is what I call perceived safety. And this one's simple, but it's the difference between someone saying, let me think about it, and someone saying, let's do it, send me the payment link, I'll pay in full. Here's a truth most people never talk about. People don't buy because of logic. They buy because of safety. If a prospect doesn't feel completely safe in you, safe in your process, safe in the outcome, they'll find a way to hesitate, delay, or split payments. So the real question is not how do I make them want to buy, it's how do I make paying in full feel like the safest option. And here's the psychology behind it. When someone is about to invest, their brain is scanning for three things. One, certainty of you. Do they fully believe you're legit, credible, and consistent? Because if they've only seen you once, you're a risk. But if they've seen you show up repeatedly, same message, same results, same proof, you become predictable. And predictability equals safety. Two, certainty of the process. They need to feel like there's a system behind what you do, not just random motivation or good vibes. Your system is the proof of safety. It shows that results don't rely on luck, they rely on structure and your structure. Three, certainty of themselves. And this one is honestly pretty big. They need to believe they can do it because they can believe that you can do it. But if they don't believe and trust themselves to follow through, literally no sales script on the planet will fix that. So how do you actually create perceived safety? Well, it's not about discounts, and it's definitely not about guarantees. It's about consistency and clarity. Every piece of your content needs to communicate, this process works, it's proven, and you'll be guided every step of the way. Think about it. When you go to a restaurant you've been to 10 times, you don't question whether the food will be good. You've built safety through repetition. That's what your audience needs from you. The more consistent you are, the less risk they feel. When a prospect sees your system laid out visually, when they see testimonials, frameworks, and examples that match their situation, their brain automatically says, okay, this person knows what they're doing, this feels safe. And when it feels safe, it's not a decision anymore, it's relief. That's why so many of my clients started getting PIFs after showing behind-the-scenes content like Miro diagrams, onboarding steps, or internal documents. They weren't just showing off their flashy lifestyle, they were creating perceived safety through transparency. Because here's the truth. People don't pay in full to take a risk. They pay in full to remove one. Paying in full means I am done searching. I trust this person and I want the fastest path with the least uncertainty. So if you want more PIFs, stop trying to convince prospects that you're worth it. Start showing them that working with you is the safest decision they can possibly make. Because when someone feels safe with you, logic disappears. And when logic disappears, resistance disappears. That's the moment where they go from I'm thinking about it to let's start today. And when you combine all three triggers, pre-sale conditioning, the belief loop, and perceived safety, you don't have to close anymore. The sale just becomes a confirmation of what your content has already proven. Now, if you want help building this conditioning system, the same one that got Alex, Romeo, and Abby, all those painful clients, along with hundreds of other people's, that's exactly what I do inside my two main offers. I map out your full content ecosystem, your pre-sale conditioning, and your sales process so prospects are already sold before you ever talk to them. Like I said, I have two offers. The first being a fully done for you offer, and the second being a hybrid consulting where I do some components done for you and then hop on one-on-one calls with you to cover any extra leakage. There's a link at the top of the description where you can apply and see which offer you qualify for. So if you want to scale your high ticket offer to $100K per month as quickly as possible, book in a call with me down below.